soaring eagles, developing breeds of excellence.
Okay. How do you handle failure? Hi, welcome to Soaring Eagles Talk Show. This is July's edition. We are going to be doing a lot of talking today, so I would love you to get your journals and your pen ready. We'll be talking about how you could handle failure the right way. We're taking this topic dealing with failure as a bedrock to success. So before I introduce you the speaker for today, let's talk about the popular neurosurgeon Ben Carson. We all know about his success story, right? You have read of his book, and you know that his success story never started until the failure story was described. So we know of how his early days in school was. He was someone you can tag a failure or someone you can say has nothing to do with success. But through the help of his mom, he was able to see failure as a bedrock where he built success. And today he's one of the most talked about neurosurgeon in the world. So come with me as I introduce to you the speaker of today. You're welcome, sir.
God bless you.
So can you introduce yourself to us?
I'm Pastor Pupola Samuel Funshaw, and I lecture in University of Jos, Department of Education. I specialize on measurement and evaluation, research, measurement, and evaluation. I think.
I'm so thrilled to have you on board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we have a topic on ground that is how one could be able to handle failure the right way, because I believe that we all have experienced failure before, but just few persons understand how they could handle failure. And I've talked about Ben Carson, whose story started with failure, and we have so many untold stories about people that have experienced failure and they gave up because they were not able to handle that failure correctly. So can you tell us the difference between two persons that have experienced failure, but the other one was able to try again and it lead to success? The other person just relaxed back out of discouragement. Can you tell us the difference between these two persons?
Okay, the difference between somebody who could not handle failure in the proper way, and though the person who can handle it in the proper way and eventually it leads to success. The difference is just very thin, in the sense that failure has another name. Another name for failure is knowing how not to do it. If you see it as a failure, you stop there, that I don't know how to do it. But if you don't see it as a failure, you do it the first time, you do it the second time, you might do it the third time, and you get it right. The person who actually stops, call it failure, and then maybe drop out, has really missed a lot. But the one that continues to try, by the time he or she succeeds, all those failures are cancelled. So in the real sense of it, there's nothing like failure. It's just that I did it the way I'm not supposed to do it. If I try more, I will still do it well.
Wow. This is like the first time I'm hearing that there's nothing like failure. So you only fail when you agreed
That is it.
You have failed.
Until you say that you have failed, it is then you fail actually. but there's nothing like failure.
Failure. Wow. Thank you so much. So I want to know the danger of one accepting that he or she has failed, because maybe we have seen how many people have made some decisions, maybe wrongly, and they feel they have failed. So they just stay there, they just relax, get discouraged, and don't move on. Can you tell us the dangers of one accepting that this is the end road?
Now, the dangers are so numerous. One of the dangers is the fact that the person that has tagged that thing, I told you that there's something like failure. But whosoever tags it as a failure will stop trying. That's one of the danger. Another person may, in fact, because of that, develop a low self-esteem, which could lead to almost everything impossible. Impossible, because he will be afraid, if I try, I may not get it right. If I try, I may not get it right. And this will follow the person. But the person who has seen that there's nothing like failure. If I try it once, it didn't work, why don't I try the second time? Another danger is the fact that there's something we call success story. If you don't try until you succeed, you have no success story. You have no experience. In fact, some people believe that experience is the teacher that can lead you to success. These are just to mention but a few. Some of the dangers that the person who decides not to continue will be facing.
So that's low self-esteem, lack of experience, because experience helps one to succeed.
Yes.
It helps you to replicate over and over again. Yeah. So when is it said that someone has failed? Since you said that there's nothing like failure. Failure is one of the words that we use on daily basis. So can you tell us when it is said that someone is a failure or someone have failed?
Okay. Now, failure comes when somebody refuses to try. Because, like Michael Faraday, the father of light, tried about some authors says he tried about 700 times. Some say it was more than 700 times. Assuming it's been 1,000 times. But today you cannot talk of electricity without Michael Faraday. So that's to tell you that my definition, that in the real sense of it, nothing like a failure. You cannot tell me the person who invented electricity is a failure. Assuming by the time he tries for about 100 times, he stops. Today now, people will think he was a failure. But he could keep on trying. In fact, in his own words, he said, I have not failed. I'm only learning how not to do it. I have done it the way I'm supposed not to do it. But I want to keep on trying. He tried and tried until he did it rightly.
Today's edition is getting very interesting. So I want to know the causes of failure. What are the causes of failure?
Okay. Causes of failure, one of them is laziness. So people have the ability, some as they tried once, twice, they give up because of laziness. Another cause of failure is procrastination. I will do it later. And whatever you're supposed to do today and you refuse to do today, actually the person has failed to do it today. So you can see there are many causes. I mentioned the issue of procrastination, also laziness. Then, when you look at other causes, that is refusal to put in your life that I must succeed. That's determination. When you don't have that determination, it also is one of the causes. Lack of determination to succeed is one of the causes for failure.
Powerful. Thank you so much. Yeah. I want to know how failure can injure one's self-esteem, because we have heard of so many stories of people that failed, and because of that it developed low self-esteem. They no longer believe in themselves. They no longer believe that they could try again. So how does failure affect or injure our self-esteem? Like, where is the place of failure in one having a low self-esteem?
No, self-esteem actually is not something that is good when somebody wants to succeed. When it is low, it makes you not to determine that you can succeed. So self-esteem, the definition of self-esteem is that ability to believe you can do something and do it rightly. You have belief in yourself. In fact, that is it. Belief in yourself that you are able. But when somebody does not believe in himself, there are three steps to success. One of them is faith in God. The second one is faith in yourself. And the third one is faith in the attainment of your goal. So if the self-esteem is low, you just don't really believe you can do it successfully. But when you have a very positive self-esteem, you are just believing that I will succeed. You will see that in marriage, you succeed. In academics, you succeed. In business, you succeed. Where it injures one is that there are a lot of dropouts in academics. Some people have tried many businesses. When they lay hands on this, by the time the expected success did not come on time, they drop it. They go to another business, the same thing, until they now say they accept their failures. But in the real sense of it, there is nothing like a failure.
Okay. Since there is nothing like failure, I want to ask a question concerning how one can get up after experiencing failure, or after experiencing, after having this lack of understanding of how to do it well. Yeah. So when you lack the understanding of how to do it well and you do it the wrong way and fail, how can one get up from that? That's like saying, how can one build resilience, right? So how can one get up from that experience to be better?
Now, let's start from where we stop. The first thing is to believe. Just have faith in yourself. Now you put faith in God. With God, all things are what? Possible. Okay? Then you believe in yourself that God in me, all things are possible for me. Then, faith in the attainment of your goal. Now, how do you develop these things? I've told you, have faith in yourself. What that means is that since you have faith in yourself, the ability to act will be there. You will say, yes, since I believe I can do it, let me do it. To him that believe he can, he can. So once you believe, you can do it. For instance now, bicycle is parked. And they ask you, can you ride bicycle? You say, yes, I can ride bicycle. If truly you believe you can ride, I say, see the bicycle then, try. You will not be ashamed or afraid of starting. Just say, yes, give me the bicycle. And surprisingly, you just pick the bicycle and you ride it successfully. There is a very great need in believing that we can succeed. We see it happen before it happens. Do you understand me now? So if you have that belief, you can start from there. That I can do it. Many people may say, they have done it, they didn't succeed. They have done it, they couldn't see any progress. But you said, I have faith in myself. I can do it. And that makes you to have courage to go into action.
Okay. I think you have been giving emphasis on having faith. You said have faith in God, yourself, and in what you want to do. So apart from faith now, what if I have faith in myself and I don't take any measure, to work on that failure? I won't be able to get the result I need. So can you give us practical examples of how we could be able to, get up from that experience, apart from having faith?
Okay.
Apart from having faith in ourselves and in God and in what we are doing. Because I've heard so many people, right, like you said, trying different business in the quest of getting money or building wealth. So they get into different business, not because they don't believe in themselves. And some of them are Christians. They believe in God. And they also believe that, okay, this will work. So after venturing into the business, let me say for a year, without seeing the profit, the person decides to leave that business. And because the person leaves the business, that is a failure in that area. So are you telling me that just having faith is enough, or is there any other thing I could do?
Yes, there are still other things.
Okay, can we know?
There are still other things. You see, man has a measure of God or godliness in him. What you can do is to trace your past and then begin to look at what you have ever done well. If you just try to check your past, you will see that there are a lot you have done well. Probably in the school, there was a time you got distinction. Maybe there was a time in business, you apply a strategy, it worked. Maybe in one area or the other, you did well. Trace them. Though one of those things, if it is possible, bring it back. Do it again. When you do it again and you succeed, do it again. As you are doing it and you are succeeding, you are building self-esteem in yourself. So you now say, so there are things I can do well. So I am not really a failure. That means I'm a success. And that will build your self-esteem. Do you get my point?
Yes.
Trace your past.
Okay. That's like maybe your talent or
Good, your talent
abilities, things.
and the gifts you have. You know, some people, they are very good in writing. When you see the handwriting, you may be tempted not to read what is there, to just give them mark 10/10, because the handwriting is just superb. It's as if it is typed. And then they say, who has this handwriting? And they call you and say, this is great. This is great. That's handwriting. Some people are very good in spoken words. When they speak, they are very fluent. That's one area. So actually, in research work, it's discovered that every human being is a genius in one of the 16 areas. You are a genius if you are able to locate your own place. Some people may be reading English, but they are jealous. They are genius in mechanical engineering. So because they are not in their own place, they begin to record, why did I do it and didn't do it well? The day he's able to locate where he or she belongs, you just see everything is just getting well. So everybody has areas of genius or geniuses. You are somewhere. God has placed you somewhere to be a hero or heroine. And that is.
So what you're saying is one of the causes of failure is when you don't know your place, where you are
Exactly.
good.
You are in another man's field. Like somebody brought to me for counseling. This person was saying he wanted to read medicine. The parents say, go to pastor. That pastor can say you. So I now say, okay, what are your results, past results? And this person is so good in economics, all those social sciences, wonderful. But he wants to read medicine. And I say, look, my son, there are two things before success. One, interest. Two, ability. You might be having interest, but if you don't have ability, you just disappoint yourself. But when you put ability plus interest, you achieve a mighty success. So I counseled him and said, go and tell your parents you are very good in social sciences. So he came out with 2-1 in business management. As I'm telling you now, this man is a very big man working in the bank because he was in his own place, area of interest or ability. Don't forget, there's nothing like a failure.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, I have another question. How can one build a positive mindset towards failure or towards what did you say? You said there is no failure. So well, for the sake of the context of our topic, how can one build a positive mindset towards failure?
Okay. Now, you see, I've told you there must be, you have a very great belief in yourself. So, to build positive mindset, these 3 Ds will work. The first one is desire. Desire to succeed. Number 2, determination. Determination. You are determined to succeed. You know, if you are determined to succeed, you don't mind whatever is working against you. You endure until you overcome. So when you desire, you determine, and then you develop area of your success.
Okay. So you are saying that determination can come before developing an area of success. I can just be, so when I'm being determined, where should my focus be if I haven't developed an area of interest?
Okay. Now, there are success in every man. I've told you, I don't want to repeat myself, there are 16 areas, and each person is a genius in one of these 16 areas. Okay, when you determine, and then you check, like I did for the man or the boy that came for counseling, you have area of ability where you have been successful all this while. Then secondly, you now look at it. Do I have interest in this area? By that time, it was just an undergraduate boy. You ask yourself, would I like to be a banker? Yes. And if I become a banker, how do I continue? You just look at it as a banker. I will be successful in helping others to execute their projects. And as you now know that truly, this area of my ability, I can develop interest in it. Then you determine. If your determination is to be a very strong banker, you may have to start with reading books. Who are those who were successful? How do they succeed? What is the pathway to success? How can I overcome all the failures? How do I make consistent progress? With this, you become a mighty success.
With what you've said, are there practical lessons we can learn from failures, maybe from experience of other people?
Okay. There are practical examples. I've told you of Michael Faraday's. He did not call the experiences he had a failure. He just said that I only did it in the way I supposed not to do it. And he continued. Consistency help all the people I know. If you are not strongly determined, you just discover that even in primary school, there'll be one thing or the other that will make you to drop out. But you say, no, I'm determined. You go to secondary school. One area or the other, you saw problem, distractions, and many things. You said, no, this is not my goal. I want to go to higher institution. You get to higher institution, distraction here and there, and you say, no. My determination is to excel. And by the end of the day, you will excel. We have so many people. Wole Soyinka was like one of the practical example. In fact, we have heard of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln wanted to be president of America. He tried several times. He did not give up. Because he didn't give up, he ended up becoming the president, one of the presidents of America. With these examples, I believe that you are convinced that there is
I'm
nothing,
convinced.
there's nothing like a failure.
True. You're very powerful. Very, very powerful. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. You spoke about success. You said there are pathways to success. So if I'm not doing a particular thing the right way, then there is a particular way that is right, like you said. So are there keys you can give us that can lead us to success, any kind of success, whether academics and other areas of our life, social life, our business, whatever we do? Are there some keys that can work in every area of our life?
Okay. The keys, I will only change one of the keys. First one is desire. The second one is determination. The third one this time around is diligence. You just desire. You look at an area, I can make it in this area. And you face it. In fact, there is no success without labor. You labor. But with your determination, after you have labored and you see success, you know, the Bible told us that do not despise the little beginning. Yes, you may see a little. It may be light like candle, but you are very, very, very happy. You even congratulate yourself that look at this thing. I'm successful in this area. I'll do more in this area. As we just look at that little, you build on it consistently. You refuse to give up. At the end of the day, you become an expert. So don't forget, desire, determination, and diligence. Diligence will help you to succeed. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. We have another question. What is the role of setback in personal growth? Because I think from the beginning you spoke about how that when one pass through maybe failure or setback, we are able to learn from experience process, right? So what is the role of these setbacks? Because if one just do things and succeed immediately, then there is no experience to talk about. You can't really practically talk about how someone can, overcome setbacks. So what is the role of this setback in our personal growth?
Thank you very much. You know, setbacks, they are just like ladder to success. When you experience setback, you make up your mind that you will not drop out. You are not going to. Because of setback, some people will just from there stop. You do not stop trying. You just develop a very thick skin. You make up your mind that whatever the setbacks, I must overcome. This makes you to go into searching for success in that area. No matter the setback, assuming there is no finance, and you needed to finance something or the other, as you refuse to give up, the finance will come. It may be a test of your strength. And when it is seen in you that you can't give up. You are not the type that will give up. The money that caused setup and setback that you couldn't find, you eventually find it. You just see that God may lead into you just like an idea how to get the money. So, like I told you, setbacks is like a ladder to success. When this setback comes, you overcome it. Another setback comes, you overcome it. Another setback comes, you overcome it. Now, you become a counselor. Somebody may be having problems. Say, come. What's the problem? I say, this is the setback I'm having, I'm experiencing. You just cancel how you will overcome. So setbacks actually, they are like ladder that lead us to success. So we don't pray that there should be no setback. We don't pray that there should be no setback. That's the setback. When you overcome, it strengthens you. It helps you to know that there is possibility, which you have not known before, but now you've known them.
Powerful.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
So, all those people we can refer to as being successful. Look at our dear father in the Lord, Pastor Dr. W. Kumuyi. There was a time in his primary school, secondary school rather, that he was always the last person in the class. After they have called everybody, the result has come out, he was always the last person. So he said one day, as he was approaching WAEC, he sat down and said, Kumuyi, is this how you are going to write this exam? Is this how you are going to do? As he spoke to himself, he changed. And today now, in fact, the whole world knows that there is a man that is having impact in the world. He's impacted different kinds of people, the adults, the youth, the children. Not only that, the world of the white, the world of the blacks. In fact, every world, God is using him to impact their lives. So therefore, we should not allow setback to make us to set back. You understand now?
Yes, sir.
It's a setback, but
Do not allow it to
do not allow it to set you back. Set forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So, sir, I have said a lot, and I've actually learned a lot from this interview. But I want to ask if there was a point in your life, maybe when you are much younger or even recently, you have passed through maybe a setback. Was there a time you have passed through a setback? And is there a possibility that you share with us how you were able to overcome them?
Okay. That's very good. I told you there is no success without setbacks. In my life, when I was about, I came out of secondary school, I wanted to attend higher institutions, but there was no money. My parents, they don't really have the money. So what do? I have to really be patient. At that time, my papers were not, that's credentials. They were not what it's supposed to be. So I took time. I was studying. I studied and studied. In fact, there was one brother, Joseph. We decided that we want to ride the bike and by all means pass. So what we did was that we packed our load from our house. We went in that bush to go and be study. And we were ready that whatever it will take, we are going to pass the exams. So it's still fresh in my mind. As we study very hard with determination, we didn't allow any distractions. Of course, either there was hunger or no hunger, we did not even mind it. We were determined that we are going to study hard, write good exams, and have very fantastic result. To God be the glory. By the time the result came, it was fantastic. And from there, I was able to gain admission to higher institution. When I got to the higher institution, there was no money. But surprisingly, brethren that were around me, they were ready to assist. The government gave us what we call not really a scholarship, there is grant. Government gave us grant. What did I do with the grant? The money was enough. I think it was 458 naira. But at that time, 458, not 1,000 naira. I have to buy grinding machine for my father and then use part of it for my studies. I'm telling you that actually many setbacks in my life, God helped me to overcome them. And today now, it has become a success story. So I want to encourage every one of you. Number one is that just believe there is no failure. If somebody says you have failed, tell the person you have not failed, because somebody who is able to pass today, we call him success. If he does not continue, he can become a failure. Somebody who did not pass today and continues until he passes and succeeds and become a success, he will never remember the failure he has ever gone through. So that's why it's very important that in the real sense of it, you cannot fail. Make up your mind. You want to be a success, and God will help you to be a success.
Oh, thank you so much. So, sir, are there final words you can give to the youth out there, to people that are trusting that they could be a success tomorrow, maybe passing through setbacks, passing through limitation here and there, and with the way the situation of our world is, there are so many setbacks. Is there anything that you could tell us, probably a word of encouragement or a strategy for us to follow to be able to be successful tomorrow?
Okay. My encouragement has to do with the fact that let every youth have this mind of no failure in life. And then make up your mind. Determine you want to succeed. Don't bother about whether your parents have money or they don't have money, whether there are helpers or no helpers. After you are determined to be successful in life, get closer to God. Because there's a word in the book of Psalms that I was brought low, but He helps me. When you think there is no way, God will raise up somebody to come and help you. But there is this important virtue that every youth should develop, and that is the virtue of consistency. Be consistent. Don't drop out. Continue. While you continue, help is coming somewhere. Help is coming from somewhere, because God is a consistent God. If He sees anyone that is consistent, He will send help to him or her. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I want to encourage you. You are the strength of tomorrow. If any youth drop out, the strength of tomorrow for this country has dropped out. So all eyes are on you. See yourself as one of the heroes of tomorrow. Don't drop out. If any setback, just see it and say, this thing I did that I didn't do it well. How do I do it well? Just like Michael Faraday. He learned that what he did and did not succeed is not failure. He only did it the way he's supposed not to do it. He continued until he did it the way he's supposed to do it. And today, he's the father of electricity.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow. Did you hear that? There's nothing like failure. You can only do it the wrong way. So all you need to do is to desire, to be determined, and to develop your area of interest. And the Lord will see you.